Hello everyone. Today I'm going to speak about the importance of having a good Pro controller for Smash, as you don't want to get a fake one that does everything wrong. I did do some researches, some labbing on these two controllers. This one being a real Pro controller, a Switch Pro controller that I bought not long ago. And this one is a modified fake Pro controller that is wireless only and that had macro buttons. I just deactivated them because obviously no macro buttons, and also that's very freaking making me confused when I use it. So yeah, that's the point. So the Pro controller on the the real Switch Pro controller has got 10 out of 10 short hop, a 9 out of 10 wave walk, which is dash walk for those who don't know this term, and a 5 out of 5 wave dash. That's another specific stats. Another stats, waveland 4 out of 5, and reverse aerial rushing 4 out of 5. So already that's a pretty important factor when it comes to performance. The fake one did had 8 out of 10 for short hop, 8 out of 10 for wave walk, which is dash walk, 3 out of 5 for wave dash, 4 out of 5 for 2 out of 5 for waveland, and 4 out of 5 for reverse aerial rushing. But there's one more thing. The fake Pro controller has 24 frames of input lags, and the real Pro controller has got 12 frames of input lags. And that's wireless. Now this thing wired, like a Genki controller, has got literally 0.5 frames of input lag, like the Genki controller has. So your inputs are pretty much happening straight away. Now, it's beautiful to see the things, but generally, you also buy a controller for the feel. And that's where I see a lot of mistakes done. People tend to think that these things are not necessarily always feeling better than a third-party controller like this thing, but they're completely wrong. As you can see, I did wrote it down as well, but this controller is literally having cutting edges, having problem with its structure, loosen screws, sometimes getting out of there, probably hurting me a little bit over time. The R button is not very responsive, and when you hold it comfortably, the R button is literally unresponsive, and a lot of stuff like that. It is beautiful though to see it. Sit open, you have every single button's light in blue, and you have sometimes 1 bar, sometimes 2 bar, all depending on which player you have. In white LEDs surrounding the controller. Well, not surrounding this thing, but in this area. But already when you see the LEDs, you quite see the problem with with the actual structure, because you see the light coming out of this joystick whenever you use it. and that means the LEDs are way too powerful, and a little problem with it. And the feeling of this controller, I gave it a 6 out of 10. This one I gave it a 10 out of 10, because this controller has got handles. It feels like you're actually holding something very soft and comfortable, despite not being soft. It got a good grip. This thing is very slippy when you're sweating. This thing, when you're sweating, it just sticks in your hands and won't fall over. Also, the buttons are responsive enough, and the joysticks are having the right, well, the right stiffness. While these joysticks are literally not stiff at all. They're like, yeah. Not only that, but that controller can also be used wired. And as well, it has the same battery as a 3DS. That gives another idea for those who want to know more. That means you can use a 3DS battery in this controller. Not this. This is its own battery. It does pack a lot of energy, but it works for a day and a half. This works for literally 2 days. It can be opened for, it can be on for like 2 days completed and never get off during that time period. This one will stay on for a day and a half. Already that's a bad battery power. So yeah, that's it.